All right. Well, I'll just edit this part out.
I don't know what the hell happened.
As you can see, my co-host doesn't have any armpit hair. Hi, I'm
There
Devin,
you. There's some
and
in
that's
there.
Colton. That's
There's
Colton,
some in there.
the hairless man. This is the Tangent Plant.
I was
I learned
adjusting your
something new.
monitor. Thank you.
Right. And I learned something new every day. And I thought all men that had beards had armpit hair. But you know what? Some shave them and some don't. I don't, but my co-host does.
I don't
So,
either. It just doesn't grow.
and that says more about you than what I just said. Anyways, I had a good.
I
Yeah.
don't get rid of it on purpose. If it was up to
Well,
me, I'd be wearing a wool sweater all the time, but I'm not. This is where all my body hair is, right
if I
here,
took if I
and on
took
my
my shirt
nuts
off,
and ass crack.
if I took my shirt off, I'd have enough hair for you and three other grown men. I've got hair. I have to shave all the time, bro. From here, my back especially. Just a hairy guy. I just get
That
down with the
sucks.
hair. Yeah. And actually, you know what? A lot of women like it.
I bet. So the gay
Uh,
dudes, they call you a bear.
well, you know what? I didn't know that, and you did. So again, more things. I think you'd be called an otter. I think that's what they call.
That's okay. That's what my wife calls me. She calls me her otter because otter's mate for life. So you started being mean, and I ended it with something cute. So fuck you. Pack that in your dick hole and suck it out, or whatever.
I use a vacuum cleaner for that, so I wouldn't be doing that.
Hell
You
yeah.
have nice teeth. I'll give you that.
Thanks. My parents
You're
spent a lot of
welcome.
money on these teeth
Did they?
when I was a young. Yeah, my mouth was fucked. Well, back then, going on 25 years ago, 25 years ago, my grandpa had an underbite, and so I had an underbite. My son has an underbite, and not only did I have an underbite, I had a cross bite, so my jaw was off to the side, and my top jaw was narrower than my bottom jaw. So when they had to fix it, I also don't, that little flap on the underside of your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one of those. They had to cut that out. I had the headgear with the piece of metal in my mouth that pushed my bottom jaw backwards and pulled my top one forward, and I had the expander that we had the little key that you had to turn and spread my jaw apart, and I had braces for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. It was a whole deal. So I do my best to try to keep them nice.
Nice.
Brush my teeth every day, floss when I think about it.
Right. Right. And so do I. Kinda. Yeah, man. It's been a beautiful day out today. I went to my uncle's and mowed his yard and weed eated
That was nice
and
of you.
detailed one of his cars and then got some pizza. It was good. It was good. It was a good day. And my wife is gonna go with my brother's fiance and my wife's mom. They're gonna go see Devil Wears Prada 2 tonight. Yeah.
When did
So,
the first one come out? I feel like that came out a long time ago.
bro, I was okay. I don't care if this makes you sound gay. I don't give a shit.
You just
I
said
was
Steve. It's
like
okay.
probably like 10 or 11, and my parents are going through a divorce, and there's a song at the end of it. It's like, I'm not gonna write you a love song
Yeah.
because you asked for it. Love that song. But it was a really good movie. I used to
I'm
sit,
fairly
this was
certain she wrote that song as like a fuck you because her record label wanted her to write a pretty love ballad or whatever, and she was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. That sucks."
yeah.
So she wrote
But
that song instead out of spite.
we were kind of a fancy family, I guess. We had a TV in our kitchen.
That's
And
pretty fancy.
yeah, and so I would watch Devil Wears Prada. This is so fucking stupid. And I would make Lifton soup, like the chickenless chicken noodle soup. And I would, yeah,
Chickenless chicken noodle soup.
yeah, so no
Watching
chicken
Devil Wears Prada, and I'm
Prada.
gay.
And I would do that. I would sit there and I would add like paprika and salt and pepper and like just all
Just
kinds of
doctor
stuff,
it up.
just to feel like I'm cooking.
Yeah,
And that was my fun time. So
that does sound like a fun time. Come on,
it actually
step.
was kind of a fun time, but it's just a funny movie. The lady's kind of a wretched, like Meryl Streep's character is just a wretched woman who's real mean. And then you got like the pretty chick. I can't remember what her name is. Anne Hathaway, maybe.
Yeah.
She's cool. And then you got the retarded, mean boyfriend who's like a chef at some shitty restaurant. And he's like, I don't like this. I don't like that you're excelling in your career. Ugh. He's got beautiful,
Just the
long, like
worst.
mid-long hair. Yeah. I hate this. I hate that you're excelling and I'm not in my shitty restaurant. And so, beautiful movie. Another great woman movie. Actually, there's a bunch. It's something called the Ya Sisterhood, and it's about these old Southern women that like go through life together. And Sandra Bullock's in it, and it's a
Oh,
good one. Steel Magnolia, great movie.
never seen it.
Dolly Parton, great movie. A lot of good Southern chick flicks out there that are actually pretty. Pretty.
Did you
I've
say
never
thick?
watched
Did you say
the
thick flicks?
chick
Chick
flicks.
flicks.
Jeez, and but I don't like. I've never seen The Notebook. I don't think I ever
That's a
will.
good one. You should. That's a really good movie.
And I'm gonna have to give Brokeback Mountain like an 8 out of 10. I mean, besides the gayness, Heath Ledger does an
Besides
exceptional.
the rampant butt fucking.
Yeah, and their tents and stuff. It just, other than that, it's a classy movie. And so Jake Gyllenhaal, first of all, I'll say this. Did that ruin my perspective of Jake Gyllenhaal? In a lot of ways, yes. But in the movie Jarhead, and in what's it called? It's a cop movie,
The last watch, the final watch, or
The
something like that.
End of Watch.
End of watch. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that got a
Yeah.
record for cussing. Like the amount of F words that
Yeah.
were said, it got a
I bet.
record because of it. But
I
still,
bet it did.
those movies are good. He's done some good movies, but I don't watch all of them. He's a real weird guy. He's not Leto or that Leto guy.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, yeah, the late night talk show host. He does some real weird movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that guy?
Well, I can't believe he's still alive. The guy's like
Jay Leno.
90,000 years. Yeah.
And after he fucking rolled down that mountain
Yeah.
and the entire, I don't remember if it was the left or the right side of his face, but like he was black, nose to the side, like fucked up, like broken. I think he broke a couple of ribs, broke one of his arms. He did a little tumble
I didn't know that.
because for whatever reason, at whatever he was, 77 years old, he thought, I'm just gonna walk down this hill. And then
Well, when you've got a chin that big, I think you can feel like you can do anything.
like the crimson chin.
Yeah. First of all, great superhero. They should have expounded
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, they really should. They really missed an opportunity for a solid superhero. I mean, could have been a trilogy.
And what a chin.
Yeah,
Like, what a just, and it fit.
and
You know what I'm saying?
it did tricks.
Yeah. This is funny. When I was in kindergarten, we were writing papers, and my mom and dad had it for the longest time.
60 feet. Sorry, a broken wrist, eye injury. 60 feet down a hill.
That's wild. When I was in kindergarten, we were writing a paper, and I vividly remember this. And we got home, and my mom and dad were reading this paper after it got graded. And I was supposed to write, "I'm doing tricks." I was doing tricks on my bike, but instead it said, "I'm doing chicks on my bick,"
Hell yeah!
and they thought it was hilarious. The teacher kind of didn't.
I imagine
She
teachers are
probably thought I
usually
was
sticks in the
doing.
mud.
Yeah, real big
I
stick.
know. I'm
Actually,
married to one.
Miss Nozier, that was who my kindergarten teacher is. Miss Nozier she had her husband come in and he would dress up
Hmm.
as a superhero, and Mr. O was his name or something like that, or some kind of superhero name, but it was like a giant O was on his chest. And he would come in and teach us random math facts and deliver treats. And he'd wear a cape and like a whole superhero get up.
Hell yeah!
Miss Potter
That's
was
awesome.
yeah, it was really cool, bro. I really enjoyed, and she was old, but the hottest teacher I had, one of them was in third grade, and her name was Miss Morgan, and she was fine. I had a crush on her. I liked women pretty early in my life. I was, I was just a rambling man at like 8. Like I don't know. I was just attracted to women. And so I don't know. I'm not explaining it. Kids these days don't seem like they are, as like you get like 12-year-olds are like, yeah, I like video games and
Yeah.
Monster Energy drinks. Like, what about the puss though, bro? Like
What about the puss? You never just think about the puss?
yeah. You over here thinking about video games, like, yeah, well, what about the puss, dog? You know?
I just watched a video of, as you were talking about liking women, I just watched a video of Jessica Biel. Like she had a potato chip right here and she licked it off the side of her cheek and ate it. That was pretty hot.
That's intense.
Jessica Biel was one of my childhood crushes, big time. I had a huge crush on Jessica Biel.
Megan Fox was for me until I
Have
found out
you
she had.
seen her recently?
No,
Holy Christ, she's not even the same person.
well, she also has toe thumbs. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a
That's what
weird.
got me. I'm not a thumb guy or anything,
Yeah, well,
but like when they pointed out like her toe thumbs, I was like, I can't find her attractive anymore. Like when I was watching Transformers after that, I was like, gross.
Those should be on her. If they were on her feet, she'd be way more attractive.
Could you imagine like her just like, oh, you got something on your lip and it just smells like toe, and you're like,
What? That's
uh,
not. That's not how that works.
I know, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Just smells like a foot. Like what the? How did you even? What do you?
yeah,
Where's that been?
yeah, it smells like sock, like worn sock. How do you do that? Jessica Alba, obviously,
Jessica Alba.
she
She
was
was
a
one of my
baddie.
first celeb crushes.
Do you remember that movie with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler? Just Go With It,
This
where
sounds familiar.
he's a plastic surgeon and she works for him, and he's like a womanizer, and then he finds some hot blonde chick. Okay, if you watch that movie,
2011.
the scene where the hot blonde chick comes out of the water, it makes her look so unattractive because her hips are so weird. Like it doesn't make sense, like how she looks. And but Jennifer Aniston used to be hot as well.
What's her name? I know who you're talking about. Maybe I don't.
I don't see her in a bunch of movies. She's only been in like a couple movies. I thought she's not like famous.
Keegan
Famous.
Michael Key was in it.
I don't even know who that is. I
Key
probably
and
do.
Key and Peele.
But he was in that. I don't remember him being in that.
Brooklyn Decker, known for Sports Illustrated covers. I assume that's what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah. She's just got the hips look weird in her
Yeah.
bikini. I don't know. I don't know. I need to get a
Oh, she
life.
got them cannons on her though.
Yeah, I think that's her claim to fame.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's usually how that goes.
Speaking of Cannon, Nick Cannon having 28 children. That would be
Yeah.
wild.
You imagine you can't know all their names. There's no
No,
way.
you have to write them down.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's got like 12 kids.
Nick Cannon has 12 children with 6 different mothers.
It's not bad.
Mothers of his children are Mariah Carey,
Fuck
Brittany
yeah.
Bell, Abby De La Rosa, Alyssa Scott, Bree Tiesi, Tiesi, and Lanisha Cole. 12 kids.
But here's the thing: is as a woman,
Moroccan
why would you
child.
agree?
What the hell? Like, what is with these? Moroccan Scott Monroe. Just Monroe. Golden Sagon. Powerful Queen. Can you imagine being named Powerful? Hi, I'm here for my job interview. My name's Powerful.
What's your middle name? Queen. Oh,
Queen.
okay.
Powerful Queen. Rise Messiah. Zion Mixolydian. Mixolyldian. Zion Mixolydian. Zillionaire. H-E-I-R. Beautiful Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was one. I'm not gonna make fun of her because she's dead, but her name was Zen. Z. No middle name, just Zen. Passed away at 5 months from brain cancer.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. That sucks a lot.
See, it's like,
Halo
go
Marie,
ahead.
Legendary Love, Onyx Ice, and Onyx Ice.
It's really rich people and really poor people that come up with the most creative names for their children.
Like, whatever happened to just like Ben?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was thinking like Benjamin, like Ben Smith. Whatever happened to like just regular names?
That's what I'm saying. It seems like really rich people and really poor people just have these wild. Now, I thought about this. If I had another child, which I'm not, and it was a boy, I would name him Marcus Aurelius Nelson. That would be his name. That goes hard, bro. That goes
Marcus
so
what?
hard. Aurelius.
Aurelius.
He's
Marcus
famous.
Aurelius.
He's a famous Roman. He was an emperor, I think. He was like
Oh.
the one that came up basically with like Stoicism and like wrote a bunch of. He wrote his own stuff about it, like his own, and then his own writings were published after he died. But that name goes hard, Marcus Aurelius Nelson, M-A-N. Man, that would be his. Yeah, that would be his.
Golly.
Oh, now I got to edit out
Anne
my middle
Hathaway
name, my last name.
Anne Hathaway is still hot.
I think she drinks blood or something.
She's got to. Like,
Yeah.
There's no way.
My goodness.
Just see a picture of her from the Met Gala.
The Megala. So you want to hear something crazy? The guy,
Yes.
old Thomas Allen, is the guy that was took a shot or was trying to kill whatever during the correspondence dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That false flag bullshit assassination.
this is weird because now they took it down, but this is like for sure happened. He worked at NASA, and there was a Twitter post from like 2013
Mm-hmm.
that all it says is his name. There's
Okay.
one post from this on this on this page. It's the only post this account ever made,
Okay.
ever, and it's just the guy's name.
So is
It's just
so
it's not
he had.
his. Yeah, it's not his page. It's not his account. It wasn't
I
his
was
account.
I was gonna say that sounds to me like he had an account and they wiped it.
No, the account was not his.
Oh,
And the account just has his name,
yeah,
Marcus
that's weird.
Call Thomas Allen. But there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Like when the judge sentenced him or was talking to him, the judge
Mm-hmm.
apologized for like how he was treated in his conditions.
Fuck that guy. He tried to kill the president.
There's pictures of him with like an IDF sweatshirt on. That's not true. That was AI. He very intelligent, worked at NASA, was a teacher, like real comes from like a good family. Just
Mm-hmm.
all if you watch the security footage of like him of like the situation, it's very odd. And then right after the fact, Trump goes on and was like, "This is why we need a new ballroom." And it's really weird because Trump has not gone to a correspondence dinner ever, but this
Yeah.
one he did.
Yeah.
And it's all odd. Like there was a dude that was at that dinner that while the thing was going on and afterwards, he was sitting there just drinking other people's drinks. He was just going to
What the
table and
hell?
just drinking other people, like just getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And people were posing with bottles, like they were taking bottles of champagne out and like, and
Yeah,
it was just a
I saw that
weird
video of the lady like after they announced that there was that there was a shooter or something in the building. The lady was going around just grabbing champagne bottles off the
champagne
tables.
bottles. Yeah, wild. Could you imagine like
Like
trying to steal
nobody gave
champagne
a
to get
single
picked
shit.
off? Well, I think it's because we're all desensitized. I
Well,
think
that
people
and
are just so used
I
to it.
saw a video. The guy kind of broke it down. Like he looked at the floor plan of the building, and like you can go on the website for where that is, and do like a virtual tour or whatever.
Hmm.
And he was like, the way this floor plan is, even if he had just a perfect shot and nobody was in the way, it would have been difficult to make the shot from the door just because of how the building is. And now you have 150 heads right in the way of you to make that shot. And between that and trying to run past Secret Service and the security and that, and then try to make that shot while you're dodging, he's like, there was no way. There was no way
No.
anything could have happened.
But the way the Secret Service reacted, it doesn't look great. Just does the
Well, they
whole
for whatever
go ahead.
reason, like even like for the last several years, anytime something happens, it's like especially during Biden with the DEI stuff, for the last several years, it just seems like they're undertrained or something. Something's gone wrong because every time something happens and you see it's like you see the video and it's like, what the fuck are they doing? You know, like
That's
I could have reacted faster than that, or like you remember was it when Trump got shot in the ear, and or maybe it was no, it was before that. It was one of the other assassination attempts. The fucking the lady, I don't know what you call her, officer.
that was your one.
Was it the ear one? She
Mm.
just was fighting with her holster the whole time, just trying to get her gun out, and then finally got it out, and the threat was already done
Well,
with.
that whole thing's really fucking weird too because there was people calling like, "Hey, there's somebody up here. There's
Yeah,
somebody," and there was a guy looking at him. There was a Secret Service agent
there
looking at
was
him
a
through a
sniper
scope.
watching him. Yeah,
And the way they
and
broke it down is that they were like, well, the way they broke it down was like a communication thing, like he had to request. But basically, what should have happened, and this is from somebody who wasn't the military or law enforcement, it should have been decentralized command, and you let that guy take a shot,
yeah,
like on his own, like, hey, I'm a trained sniper.
yeah.
This is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna
He
take
was
a
told
fucking
to
shot.
stand down, and then bam, Trump gets shot in the face.
Well, not only stand down, but like they were like, "There's no way somebody could get up there. The angle's too like it's too big of an
Yeah.
incline." It's
Okay.
like,
Well,
no,
then
you can still get up
how
there.
did he get up there then?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What a shitty plan because then you have to get down from this crazy.
Yeah.
You have to slide down, shimmy down with a gun or leave it, and then get down on a ladder and then run
And then
away. I mean,
they said he disassembled his rifle, and then they found the rifle in the woods assembled. Why the hell, if you're gonna ditch a gun, why would you take the time to put it back together to leave it?
no, that was Charlie Kirk. That was Charlie Kirk shooter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
There's
Yeah,
well, not only that, but like the
because that
communication
guy
between him and his good.
because the ear shooter, he got shot in the face, didn't he?
Yeah, he got
He died.
killed. Yeah, he got
He
shot.
died on
Yeah,
the rooftop. That's right.
yeah.
That's
But
right. I'm mixing them all up together. There's been so many
Charlie
fucking
Kirk,
assassinations and shit here recently, or attempts anyway.
his the whole thing with that is it was like weird between the text messages and his between the guy who supposedly shot him and the like his significant other. There was text message where she's like, "Did you do this?" And he goes, "Yes, I did it because of this." And it sounds like an old man or like AI wrote it. The whole
Yeah,
like he disassembled the gun, but reassembled it even though he left it. Like he disassembled it, reassembled it, and then but he reassembled it without the screwdriver he brought and then left the assembled weapon that doesn't match the caliber. And now they've officially know that. That's noted by the government that the caliber of the weapon of the round that killed him wasn't shot out of the gun that guy that they found in the woods. Instead of disassembling the gun and like throwing the parts in the woods, he assembled it and just left it there
and
and
just
then
left it.
walked
Yeah.
yeah, and then walked around or whatever. And it was just
Didn't they have pictures of him at a Dairy Queen or something right after that?
no, I think you're thinking about maybe, but it sounds more like the guy who shot the insurance president that was caught by like
No,
the
no, no,
McDonald.
no. Yeah, that guy was caught in McDonald's, I think. But no, the Kirk shooter, like they didn't catch him in there, but they have pictures of him like ordering ice cream at Dairy Queen or something, just completely nonchalant.
So what's really shitty about the whole thing with that guy getting caught at McDonald's, the McDonald's employees didn't call like the hotline first. They just called the police, so they were never given the money the reward for finding him because they didn't call the hotline first. And so they weren't
Go
given the
figure.
like $50,000 whatever, so yeah, really exciting stuff that they did. But before we get into since we got on
You know,
that, go
it's
ahead.
really annoying. I'm just scrolling the current events page on whatever the hell this is, and like 80% of them are articles about people being at the Met Gala. I don't give a shit about the Met Gala.
It's all a cover up. Well, here's another big thing is that they're releasing all those UFO files and documents and pictures and stuff. The government, it's they're obviously trying to get people distracted from something huge that's about to happen. But okay, speaking of failures of the Secret Service, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, JFK, Reagan, there's like quite a few presidents that have been shot at or killed under the guise of under the surveillance and protection of the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
So there's there's a lot of that. Here, let's get to some stuff real quick here. Let me give you some good facts of the day. The shortest war in the world, the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896, lasted approximately 38 to 45 minutes before Zanzibar surrendered. The mountains of sugar. There's more sugar in a lemon than in a strawberry by weight, though the citric acid in lemon masks the sweetness.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. The Principality of Sealand. There's a country
I think the same deal is with onions too. There's a whole bunch of sugar in onions.
on Saturn and Jupiter. The atmospheric pressure is so intense it can turn carbon into diamonds, which then rain down towards the core.
Hmm?
But here's the thing. So, like, the pressure is so intense on Saturn and Jupiter that it, like, basically, like, crushes the carbon
Mm-hmm.
on there, like, so much pressure that it rains diamonds. But here's a big thing is like diamonds aren't that rare. Like
No.
that they were made, like it was all propaganda pushed to make these like diamonds, worth thousands of dollars or whatever, when they're not, they're in abundance. Like it's not
Yeah.
as rare. They're making them in labs. I mean, you just can't
Yeah. Yeah.
you just sloth digestion. A sloth can take up to 30 days to digest a single leaf. Their stomachs are incredibly slow to maximize the little energy they get from their diet. That would be wild. What a shitty. Everybody knows this. Vending machine statistics. Statistically, you are more likely to be killed by a falling vending machine than you are a shark. So I think like
That is true. Yeah.
3 to 6 people die a year from like falling, like trying to tip a vending machine to get something, and it just they can't, and they try to. I watched a dude online the other day. He was trying to stop a coil, which is dumb, and it was rolling, and it just completely crushed
Oh
him.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's like,
I was
dude, get out of
driving
the way.
through I was driving through Chicago one time. This has been several years ago, and there was a guy um that was hauling a steel coil, just a regular big steel coil, probably 48,000 pound coil. And obviously didn't have the proper securement on it, because when I drove by it, the coil had rolled forward. He must have been going mock Jesus through town, and traffic had come to a stop, and he didn't. Well, he did, but the coil didn't. The coil broke whatever securement he had on it, rolled over the truck, killed him, and then the truck slowed it down enough that it landed on top of the car in front of him and killed everybody in that too.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how many people was in there, but there was a whole lot of red people juice on the ground all around the car. I mean, you could just barely, when something like that happens, they shut the whole road down
Yeah.
until they get it somewhat secured. So by the time I drove around it, they had like a perimeter of emergency vehicles around it, so you couldn't really see. But I mean, you could still see. It was a mess. Like, they had white sheets hanging down, so you couldn't see like through the sides of the car and that. But I mean, it was a fucking steel coil sitting on top of a car with a bunch of blood on the highway.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what happened. It
Yeah.
was a mess.
Well, that's a nuclear lawsuit that's definitely happening there.
Yeah, but it was in Chicago, and the truck was white, so it was probably a chameleon carrier.
Well, so to me,
Somebody like that either doesn't care enough or doesn't know enough, is either a rookie, or somebody that's been doing it for way too long that got complacent, or it's somebody that just got here and has no idea what they're doing.
yeah.
You
Well,
know. So, and being that, like I said, it was a white, I don't remember, Volvo or Freightliner or something like that in Chicago, probably a foreign national, I'll put it that way.
yeah. What gets me is like the cops, they do all this and they secure the area, put white blankets, but less than 100 years ago, people were like, on Saturday night, we're not going to see a show. We're going to go see hangings.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go hang these criminals. There's like 5 criminals we gotta hang. Or well, it's funny too, and it's not funny, but like especially during, I'm sure they did it like during the Revolutionary War, but during the Civil War it was really big too. Where like, oh, there's a battle going on, 15 feet, 15 yards away from here, from Aunt Becky's. Let's go see. And people would sit out a blanket. They'd eat a picnic and they'd watch and you know how many people died because there'd be like stray
Just,
rounds or like
yeah,
cannons
shrapnel.
going off.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
right.
then, Becky's head's taken off.
Like it's the damn PGA. You're just
Yeah.
standing around on the grass.
Oh, this is a great show. We should come
Yeah.
back. It's like,
No,
eh,
Susan.
yeah, yeah. And well, not only that, like,
Bartholomew.
like that's what humans, they love. I watched this video. I think I might have sent it to you, but my cousin and I have sent it to each other, and this kind of has nothing to do with it. But before they had like robots and stuff, and the way they would test cars, there's a video of like this dude, and he's in an old car. It's got to be in like the 10s or 20s, and there's a crowd of people around him, and he runs it into like a pillar to see like what it is, and he he hits the thing and it bops him like out of the car, and you see him getting up and he's like, yes, it's great. And he's just there all looking at the car, and it's like humans are so weird.
I think I've seen that video. It's from like the
Yeah,
20s or something, where they're testing out the Model T.
yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
just super weird, bro. Like,
it reminds me of that, like Jim Carrey's Grinch, when he's doing the crash
yeah.
test. He's just boom,
Hmm.
airbag's a little slow.
Humans really, dude, it gets to me because it's like, no matter if you don't like if you don't like watching stuff like that, there's a part of you that's still like, close your eyes, but you open them a little bit because we want to see, like we
Yeah.
want to see, we want to know, we want to like, it's like that. Like people just, it's either it's for amusement or we just at the end of the day like seeing things happen to people, and
That's more like
it's
it.
weird. And but I think also like back in the day, it was somewhat of amusement because there's you
Probably.
let's just
Well, there
say
ain't
you live
shit
in a
going on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what do would you guys rather sit at home and read a book, or would you rather go watch them hang five criminals? I mean, there's gonna be food and stuff at the hanging, so we should
Yeah,
just
yeah, fuck yeah.
go there.
I'm just going for the barbecue, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I
There,
don't even really watch
there,
them anymore. I just, eat
there.
my food.
It's like I don't remember what comedian. I don't remember the name of him or what his name is, but he's a black guy. He's got this bit about his friend going to a Ku Klux Klan meeting,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
he went for the barbecue, and that's where my mind went. It's like we're lynching folks, but man, I'm really just going for the ribs. They're the barbecue they got's awesome.
Yeah. There's just something weird about
Free
humans
hot
and
dogs, I'm there.
gore or death or like I mean, even today we watch UFC. I love the UFC. We watch boxing. I mean,
Well,
dude, there's so many other things to watch too. You can watch literally nights, dudes dressed in full night regalia, just beat the living shit out of each other with like axes and swords and
yeah,
just fight. And they're real axes. They're probably dull,
yeah. Oh,
I'm
they're probably
assuming.
dull. That's all
But
a show,
like
you know.
yeah, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, it's going to happen one day where somebody brings a real sword there
Oh
and
yeah,
just chops somebody's head off just for the love of the game.
yeah.
Like it's just to do it. Like I was, well, I've been wanting to do it. So, I mean, it went from LARPing to and here's the thing too, when we were training, especially at the gym, we would have dudes that are LARPers that would come in and they would bring their stuff and they would just practice like sword fighting with their LARPing stuff. It was real I'm not making fun of them because one of these dudes had legitimate like he took sword fighting very seriously. He had a collection of swords. He was actually also very well to do. He wasn't like a broke dude living in his mom's basement. He like owned a business and did very well for himself. And he brought us over to his house one day and first of all, beautiful home, but his basement just swords and axes and like all kinds of stuff. And he had his own little like dojo area and he'd come to the gym though, dude, and he would
Yeah.
practice and he would kick people's asses. One day I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
give me one of those foam swords. Let me just try this. And dude,
He
he hit
fucked
me.
you up, I
Yeah, he
bet.
fucked
Yeah, I
me, dude.
bet.
He huzzah, he just like fucked me up.
He
And I
he
was like,
was he
bro,
wasn't fencing you. He was
no.
shooting to kill.
I will say this. The only thing I did though, dude, is like he came in and he did something, and I just hit him right in the nuts. Like I just nah like that. And he was
Me
so
versus you,
pissed,
bud.
dude. Yeah, yeah. Like there's so I mean, even hockey. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't even like watching hockey, but just the point where you can just, you
Hockey's
know what?
cool.
Hockey's cool. I'm not hating. I just don't like to watch it. And it's just like, look, here's the premise. There's a goal here, there's a goal here, and you hit this puck. But also, you can have a brawl. You
Yeah.
can just fight people, and it doesn't even matter.
It ain't like it used to was.
No,
It,
but
like
still, you can still
when
do
I
it.
was when I was a kid, it was like drag out fights. They'd let them go until they got tired. And now it's like you get a couple of good jabs in, but as soon as one of you falls, they break it up.
Yeah. Well, and now you can actually watch it. You can watch ice fighting where dudes are wearing hockey gear and skates,
Damn.
but all they do is just
I'd
fight
watch
each
that. I'd
other.
watch that over the slapping,
Yeah. Well, have you
the
seen the car
slapping
one?
league,
Have you
the
seen the
car
car
one.
one? So you sit in a car, passenger and driver, and it's jujitsu guys, and they try to make each other tap out in a car, and they'll use seat belts, they'll use
Hell yeah,
and it's a very awkward. I mean, you're
yeah.
just sitting in it, but it is. You watch them, and dude, they'll somebody gets choked out sometimes, or they'll use their seatbelt, just start wrapping around your neck and pulling. You're like, you're just
Damn.
dying. Yeah, it's pretty intense, but there's so many like different things you can watch fighting wise. Now they're bringing back like I don't. First of all, I'm not a medieval guy. I don't like, but they're bringing back jousting,
Mm,
and so
that's fun.
you're watching dudes just legitimately just, yeah, and they were getting
You ever seen boat jousting?
where
Like
they're on boat.
you have two boats coming at each other, and the jousters, whatever you call them, will be on a
Yeah,
platform, either like a butt like stepped up off the front of the boat, or like out in front of the boat, like they used to have them poles that stick off the front of pirate ships and
yeah,
shit like that, but you're standing on a platform, and they have these 10-foot jousting poles, and you wear padded like catcher's gear, and you just got to stand there. Boom, you're standing up, and you just got to jab the guy in the belly and hope that you stand up and he falls down.
That would be
That's
so fun.
yeah. Because like the worst
Dude,
thing that happens is you just fall in the water. You're not, and hopefully you don't get run over by the boat. But
men are so easily amused. You take a stick, and I'll take a stick, and you get on a horse, and I'll be on a horse, and we just
yeah,
ride at each other. And
yeah.
whoever dies loses. And it's like, okay, cool.
Whoever gets,
Yeah, I mean, dudes are so easily entertained. Like, well,
yeah,
I'm bored. He's like, well, teenage boys, like my cousin and I, we spent like we spent 3 whole weeks together, and then we went on a trip together. Well, like I would say halfway through, so a week and a half of that 3 weeks, dude, both of us were just irritated with one another, and we just started to fight. And it ended
as
up, I
boys
mean,
do.
as boys do, and we were like 16, 17, and it ended up with us on the ground, like choking each other, and we just started laughing. And then we got up and we were fine, and we started just to like go outside, and we like
Yeah,
chilled or smoked or something. Like we were just, it ended up in laughter. But dudes are so easily amused. Like, are you bored? It's like, yeah, you want to fight? Let's just beat the shit out of each other.
let's
Like,
just beat the
okay,
shit out
yeah,
of each
let's,
other
yeah,
just for the love of the game.
yeah, just for the dude. So many things for the love of the game. Like,
Yeah,
or chicken with BB guns. Somebody would just, what we do is we'd sit in the yard and somebody just run back and forth, and you got 3 or 5 shots, and you would just, people would try not to aim for the head, which, if you got hit in the head, you knew it was pretty intentional. Cause like, dude, my hips are down here.
yeah,
My forehead's right here, you piece of shit. Like, I know you were trying to hit me. Like, I know what you were doing, but paintball, it's all recreational combat. Like
mm-hmm.
paintball, airsoft, it's just, I want to shoot at people, but I don't want to kill them.
You're right,
And it's like,
right.
so let's come up with something. Have you seen, watch the video, but they have like automatic BB guns now,
Oh
like
yeah,
legitimate BB guns. And it's like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like,
yeah.
fucking shit, that wouldn't be fun to get hit by.
Like
Like,
BB guns or airsoft guns?
no, like BB guns,
Oh jeez,
like
I
BB
imagine.
guns, dude.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's pretty. There's one at Tractor Supply.
Really, that's
Yeah, and
awesome.
it's like an M4, but it's like legitimate BBs, and you're like,
Hell yeah.
I mean, my cousin, not my cousin, a guy I know, he can't have. Uh, I'll just cut this part out, but he can't have guns. But I was showing him like, dude, you can have air rifles, and those things
Yeah,
are fucking wild.
yeah.
Some of those are
Some of them
crazy,
get
dude.
nuts.
Yeah, but nothing beats a good old fashioned gun. Like
No,
you just can't. You just can't.
no.
I don't care how much air he got behind it.
I've got a safe full of them. I've been really watching, thinking about buying another one here. So we got some money put back, and I've been wanting one for a long time. I've about had enough of wanting one.
But I enjoy. I've always enjoyed combat sports as far as like boxing or MMA or kickboxing, and not even because of like the violence per se. It's like what the body's so resilient. I've seen dudes get up and still be able to like push on
Yeah,
and do your thing. And it's just like sometimes you wonder. And at the end of it, I'm not gonna say, oh,
plus the adrenaline dump.
I'm not a badass or anything like that, but dude, I've been hit pretty hard in the face and multiple times in a row. And then like, man, that wasn't that bad. Now, on the flip side of that, it's when you're done. When you're done and everything's over, you're like, man, my head hurts really bad.
Yeah,
And then like
yeah,
2 hours later, like, oh my God, my whole face fucking hurts. And it's like all the adrenaline wears
yep,
off because at first it's like you get hit, and you're like, oh, that's not terrible. It's more like a thunk, and you're there. But one time this guy, we were sparring and we were young. We were in high school. And people can call bullshit all they want, but this is what I remember. I didn't get knocked out, but he hit me hard as and dude, everything turned yellow for a second. It was like just yellow, and then he hit me again, and everything went back to normal. And I was like, thank God. I was so worried for a second. I was like, yellow. Like I freaked out, dude. And then like it just
everybody
I
looks
don't know what that
Asian.
was. Yeah, everybody does. The whole room looks Asian, just turned into a dojo. You're just like,
Yeah.
what? You know,
What the hell?
I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, fry rice. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Like just
You get punched in the face again, everything goes back to normal.
yeah, you're like, oh God, okay.
I thought I was in my Chinese era there.
Yeah, this is wild. But I don't know, dude. I've been hit, I've been kicked, I've been elbowed, I've been kneed, I've been punched. I've
Never been mushroom stamped.
no, I've never gone that low before, but
Okay.
um one time this guy kept fucking with me in the gym, and he kept landing like some good shots, and I was really immature, and I feel bad about it now because I'm like 17 and the guy's like 28,
Mm.
like just way
You
older,
just
and so I
kicked him
got
square in the testicles.
no, I hit him as hard as I could in the balls. And I was like, oh, like, dude, I did. I was like up here, and he was like, and I just, nah, just right in the nuts, dude. And he's like, ah, and he falls down, and he's like, he goes, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that to me? And I was like, I'm sorry, bro. It was just low blow. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to hit you in the gut, and I felt bad. He didn't spar with me after that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
Um,
either. This guy kicks people in the fucking balls.
Dude, I mean, I just straight as hard as I could, just right in the nuts. Like I didn't have any like one time, this is funny too. This kid, he's a Marine now. He's a really good kid. But I was holding mitts for him, okay? And I had just, I guess it doesn't matter, but I was like 1-2, right? You go
Mm-hmm.
bop bop, and I went bop, and then I just moved my glove. I moved the mitt for whatever reason. He just bink, right in the face, and he goes, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "No, dude, that's my fault. Like I just didn't react. I just,
Yeah,
ugh, like that. Just a moron, like a lapse of judgment."
yeah.
And
Dunk.
this is one other one I'll be done. But I was getting this guy ready for a fight, and he's a big dude. He was huge. He was like 6'3". He's a big guy
Mm-hmm.
and just a big fella, heavyweight. And you use pull floaties and you cut them in half and you put tape around like each end. And then you work on like ducking and stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah,
movement.
sure.
And so I'm doing it. And he's like, he and I kind of got into an argument in the car on the way there. And so I'm just starting to hit him. Like I'm just starting to like hit him as hard as I can with these pull floaties. And dude, he got so sick of it. And let me tell you something, man. I used to put like they're like big pads. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what they're called. There's probably an official name for them, but use them for like they're like. And I'd put it down, and he'd kick the pad, and it would hurt. He would barely kick me, and then it would like he could. He was a big dude. And he could kick really well. I watched him knock some dude out with a head kick in a fight. It was fantastic. But he got really pissed at me, dude, and he just kicked me one good one, dude, and I went flying. My legs went up in the air. And I was like,
Damn.
ah! I just for a second, like it was, and I, dude, it hurt so bad. And he goes, "Stop fucking hitting me so hard. Stop fucking hitting me. I'll fuck you up." And I was like, whatever, dude. We had an argument right there. Everybody's looking, they're lifting weights, and like you could like we looked around and people are staring at us because we're yelling at each other in
Yeah,
this ring. It was fun. Dude, I miss it a lot. But yeah, dude, I've seen some wild stuff in fights. I've seen some wild stuff in the gym. I've just seen some wild stuff in my life, and I'm sure there's 1,000 other people that have seen crazier things. But sometimes I look back on life, man, my life, and first of all, I can't believe I'm like in my 30s. But I look back on my life and I was like, dude, I've lived like 3 lifetimes. Like I feel that way. Like I feel
yeah,
like I've lived 3 whole lifetimes. You go from doing all this stuff and seeing all this stuff and just constantly going, and now it's like when you're married, you've got fucking
right.
all these kids. You work a desk job, and you're like, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it in a negative manner. Like I don't like my life. It's just crazy to think where I was like 10 years ago when I was 21 to now.
Yeah,
You're like, dude,
yeah,
what happened? How did that all shake out?
right. I saw a memory pop up on Facebook today of the day that I traded in. I had a '04 Wrangler Rubicon, straight six, 5 speed, lifted, 35s, tinted windows, lockers in the front and rear. I want to say the front was an air locker and the rear was an electric locker, just because the front one took a dump, replaced it with an air locker, was waiting for the rear one to take a dump before I replaced it. Beautiful Jeep, not a speck of rust on it. I got a job where I was having to drive like 85 miles a day and could not afford to keep gas in the fucking thing. So I traded it in on a Chrysler 300, and
Like, yeah.
it was a 2014 Chrysler 300. Had just a regular V6. Had the slap shifter in it that had a recall on it because people were running themselves over. Had to take it and get the transmission reprogrammed because it had the slap shifter in it, so you'd push the button and throw it all the way forward, click it all the way forward for park if you were in drive, or reverse, whatever. And people were not pushing it far enough, putting it in reverse, going to get out of the car, running themselves over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And uh so anyway, Anyway, I saw that memory pop up on Facebook, and I looked, and it said 9 years ago. And I looked at my wife. I was like, "We were together then. You were with me when I did that." Uh, she was like, "Yeah, I was. We were together 9 years ago." And I was like, "Yeah, that was May in 2017. We started dating in August of 2016. This year we'll be together for 10 years, a freaking decade." And we were both just like, "Wow, that's awful.
Yeah, dude.
We're so old."
Yeah, dude. It feels weird. Like I remember being like 22 or
Yeah.
whatever, and you see somebody that's like in their 30s, and you're like, God, Jesus
You
Lord.
so
Like
gay.
you look
Yeah.
run down, and then I get up in the morning, like I look in the mirror, like, my God, you're
Yeah.
so fucking fat. Like, what happened to you,
What
dude?
happened to you?
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Like, I could see my 20-year self being like, you're so fucking ugly, bro. What a homo. Like, go to the gym, you fatty. Like, it's,
I will say I think I'm better looking now than I was when I was 20.
if I lose weight, see, here's the thing. I think that like my beard helped me look older, but I still looked young. So it looked like the older I get, the better looking I do get.
Yeah.
But if I see pictures from like a year and a half ago when I was way slimmer, like 40 pounds maybe slimmer, I'm definitely like, I look better. And I look,
Yeah.
but when I
Well, yeah, everybody looks better when they're 40 pounds lighter.
But I will say this, that when I was in my early 20s, I definitely was way more like, I wouldn't say ripped, but I was way more like toned. When I was getting after it, dude, I looked a lot better, I will
Yeah.
say. But I think just like I think facial hair plays a big one. Cause if I don't have facial, if I don't wear it, I just start peeling it off. I just take it all the way
Like
off.
you got wig tape, like double-sided tape stuck to your
Yeah.
face. You just take it off.
But I didn't look bad. I just didn't like myself. I just didn't like being clean shaven. And then I would have moments in my life where I'd like lose my shit. And then I kind of lost my shit if I like shaved my facial hair. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
knew like I had a moment in my life
Like a
because
white girl box dyeing her hair after a bad
yeah,
breakup.
yeah, or like Britney Spears shaving her head. That's how you know.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to you? I'm like, just bad day in my
Bad
life.
day. I had a bad
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I take a picture and I send it to my mom. She goes, why did you do that? It's like
I took a picture, I took a selfie and I sent it to my mom, and she didn't tell me that I was the handsomest boy, so I shaved my beard off. I had such a bad
Yeah.
day.
Well, and then one time I kept my mustache, but I didn't do this. I just had it like to here. And she goes, shave it. Shave it. You look like a predator. Like she was like, shave that shit. She goes, just do it all. But no, I don't know, dude. It's weird getting older. It's weird seeing like another thing is like you see cousins that when they were, you were in your early 20s or late teens and they were born and now they're like almost adults. You're like, dude, I remember people say that. I remember when you were yay tall. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Hmm.
And now I understand, like, damn, dude, I can't believe 17 years have passed.
Yeah,
It's
either that
weird.
or like friends that you still talk to on occasion, but you've kind of lost touch with, and then all of a sudden you see them in person with their kids. And it's like, golly, man, I remember when you were born, and now
Yeah.
you're 12 years old. Like
Or
that.
they're wearing khakis and a button up and they're like running a minute. I'm like, I watched you do a bong rip on top of a moving car while we were all
Yeah.
drunk. Like, what do
Like
you
we
mean?
we used to get I there's a and if she ever sees this, she'll know that I'm talking about her. But we had a friend, we still talk. She's still one of my friends, but we used to get drunk. Her and another one of our friends at the time lived together for a while, and we would go to their house. Their house was the fun house, the party house, and we would all get just rip piss drunk. And she was one of those girls that would dump them out and say, sign them, sign my boobs, sign them. So then she'd
No.
wake up in the morning with just smudged Sharpie all over her chest, so she'd have to, use gasoline or something to wash off because Sharpie doesn't come off. And
Yeah.
now she's doing a home renovation with a man, and she has 4 kids, and like it's just
Yeah.
wild where people come from to where they are now.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that people can kind of say the same thing about me because I was rather rambunctious and it's like, what do you do? What? Yeah, I'm married now and I'm this and that. And it's just like, I'm sure all of us kind of look
Hmm.
at each other in the same manner. And then you got that one guy that isn't your friend anymore that just never moved on. And you're like,
Yep,
I
got one
mean,
of them too. Like we're not even
where
friends on social media or nothing. I don't even know what he's up to. He might be dead by now, but I've got a guy like that. Last I heard, he was barely holding a job at a gas station because the only reason he had that job is because they didn't drug test. You know.
yeah. Oh, and to be fair, dude, like I'm not gonna say call myself high and mighty. I matured like super late. Don't think that it was like 25, everything changed. It was like 27.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like I was partying still at like 25. It wasn't like that. It was just I hadn't fully gotten over certain things, but I always held a job, and whether they drug tested or not, whatever, there's always ways around stuff. But like I couldn't, and there's nothing wrong with people that work at gas stations or work at McDonald's or work
No,
at
for
whatever.
sure. I'm not looking down on those people at all
But
by any
I
means.
wasn't gonna do that. That wasn't
Exactly. I mean,
my
it's still like I don't want to. How am I going to say this? Like
let's not lie. There's
it's
levels.
yeah, like it's one of them things where you're very easily replaceable because
Yeah.
anybody can do that job. But
Yep.
also, it's still an important job. It's one of them jobs where like working fast food, working retail, working behind the counter at a gas station. Everybody, we're all on the same team. Like those people still help keep things moving,
Yeah. It's
you
just
know?
it's just different levels. Like
Because
whether you want to call it a
without
caste
without
system or
without
whatever.
those people, how the hell would I get my Hunt Brothers breakfast pizza in the morning?
Yeah,
You
sure.
know?
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I would say 30 years from now, there's probably not going to be too many gas station attendants. There's probably not going to be too many,
Probably not. I mean, if you go into a Pilot or a Flying J, they have kiosks. They have
yeah.
self checkout kiosks. The only
Dollar
thing
General has kiosks. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. Or like the marathon station in town here. It hasn't been that long ago, but they just added a self-checkout thing. You got your two registers, and then right in between it, right in front of the lottery thing, it's a handheld scanner and a TV screen. The only reason I'll use that if I have stuff that'll scan, but if I go and grab like a donut or something or a piece of pizza or whatever that don't have a barcode on it, I'll go and but like if I could scan a fucking donut, you bet you I'm using that. It's faster.
Oh,
And I don't have to
well,
talk to anybody.
here's the thing. I'm going to go on a little tangent rant, whatever you want to call it. But, dude, if it's 4:30 in the afternoon and you're buying lottery tickets or scratch offs, get the fuck out of my way.
There is
Stop.
nothing worse than
Dude,
somebody that just gets in the way buying lottery tickets. And then every now and again, not very often because most of them are usually like they'll buy four or five, go off to the side, scratch them, come back. But every now and again, you get that one inconsiderate douchebag that will just stand there and scratch and buy another one and scratch it and buy another one and scratch it. And there's 10 people in line waiting. There was
yeah,
one
it's
time. There was one time it was almost instant karma. It was beautiful. This lady was doing that. I was standing in line. There was somebody. There was her at the counter, and then there was another lady, and then me, and then like three or four other people behind me. And she's doing that. She's buying two or three lottery tickets. She's scratching them off. Ooh, I won some. Here, redeem it. Give me a couple more. Blah blah blah. And then she did that like two or three times. She was at the counter for like 10 fucking minutes, man. And I finally said something. I was like, "Lady, we all got places to be. There's 10 people back here. Get out of the way." And because everybody's starting to like tap their foot, kind of huff and mess with their phone. People are getting fidgety at that point. And I don't remember what she said. It was something like incoherent. But and then so she finally fucks off, goes outside, and the one door was locked, and there was a sign on it right in front of your face that said "Use other door." She bounced her big ass off that door, was mad, stomped through the other door, went outside, and not 30 seconds later, she comes back in. Can I use your phone? I locked my keys in my car, and my phone is also in there. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Instant karma. You want to hold the rest of us up. Now you get to sit here for 2 hours and wait for a damn locksmith to come unlock your car, you stupid ass.
that
And you
is
get to pay like $250. So whatever money you just spent on freaking lottery tickets, now you get to pay quadruple that on a damn locksmith. It was beautiful.
you took over my tangent.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna go into a whole thing, and you've ruined this for me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm upset by this. But yeah, dude, it's usually older, middle-aged women now, and you
Or
occasionally
retired
have
men.
or retired men, and I have
Yep.
done the same thing. Like, but I'm not like, it's not that I'm trying to make myself seem like a prick, but it was the same thing. It was this guy, and there's a bunch of us, and we're standing there, and he's just, I was like, and it was like 3:45 on a Friday, and I've got place, and like some people are getting, I'm like, my guy, get the fuck over. Just
Yeah.
go on, get out of the way. Nobody wants to deal with this. I was like, why don't you just get out of the way? And he like looks at me, and I was like, what? And there was like that moment of like silence where he's like, who's gonna say what? I was like, and he goes, I'll be over here. And he's fucking scratching his shirt. I was like, dude, just move. Or today. This one kind of pissed me off, and I didn't say anything because I'm trying to be better. But I'm going to a men's breakfast at a church, at my church. And okay. And there's the line of people is going out the door. And I'm like the fourth person near the register. And there's this guy, and he gets a coffee, pays for it, forgets, oh, my wife's coffee, pays for it, sits there and like looks around, gets a muffin, pays for it, then has to get his wife a muffin, pays for it. And this old lady wearing a flowered shirt, silver hair. All I hear is she's got a, she goes, come on, all these people, like, just get your fucking muffin and
Yeah.
go. And she's from like Wisconsin or whatever. She's,
Hell yeah, mama.
go, just go. And he like looks through, and I was like, I went like that because he wanted to say some shit, and I was like, I
Don't.
wouldn't, because
I
yeah.
don't.
And then he just and then and here's the funny part is he couldn't just leave because he had to wait for his coffee to be made. So he walks 3 feet to the end of the thing and just and like and then he storms out, and it's like, well, yeah, dude,
Yeah, you're
nobody
just being
cares.
inconsiderate. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
stand here for 20 minutes while you meander. Like, some of us have shit to do.
So this is this is going to take. I put a clip out last week about, and it was talking about giants and stuff, and we've kind of gone to this, but this person said, we want to talk about it more, and I was using biblical references. So I'm going to go back to it for a second, and then we can whatever. So I talked about in like Genesis 6 how it talks about how the sons of God saw that the women, that men were like making daughters, and they were growing up and becoming women, and how the sons of God saw this and thought the women were beautiful. So they decided like, we're gonna like, procreate, we're gonna have sex with these women. So if you go to Joe, go to the not Job, if you go to the book of Enoch, which is not in biblical canon, it was in the Apocrypha, and the only Bible now that has the book of Enoch in it is the Ethiopian Bible. And basically what it was is that the watchers that would watch over us in certain regions, and someone called them Elohim, which Elohim is used in the Bible, I decided that they were going to make a pact with each
Hmm.
other. It talks about in the book of Enoch, like, and they made a pact so nobody would tell. Everybody was equal in their guilt and what they were doing. And they came down and they slept with humans and procreated these demigods.
Hell yeah.
Now, and also told secrets of like weaponry, metalwork, makeup for women, instruments like musical things. And this is how some of our technology from then came about. And you could talk about the Canaanites and Canaan, and like they were like the warring nation, and the way they did it. It could go into a couple different facets. How that's why God destroyed the world with the flood, because he's like, humans can't, like, I can't contend with, it's not that he can't contend with it, but he's like, A, they live too long, and B, like now they're not even really human. They're not fully human. And so it talks about in Genesis 6 how they were the men of renown, the men of old. And so the way I see it is like, if you think about like Hercules, all these
Hmm.
demigods, that probably happened because of this, in a sense. And so I'm not Christ, but God flooded the earth. But it says that these Nephilim, these giants,
Hmm.
were around in Noah's time and after. So a lot of people believe that it was because of Noah's wife, not Noah's wife. I have to correct myself. Noah's sons, that their wives had the genes in there, and it continue on after that. Because when Noah's ark was up, I mean, they were so high up that they couldn't, like, it covered the tops of mountains. That's why
Yeah.
it says in the Bible that it settled on Mount Uriah. God, Ari, I can't remember the name. I'm really gonna fudge this up, but that's where it settled on, was like on a mountain. What gets me about Noah's story too is like, after all the waters succeed and all that, Noah plants a vineyard and makes wine and gets just wrecked, and he passes out naked,
Hell
and
yeah.
he has three sons. I think
Spawn
it was
of us.
Shem.
Spawn of us.
Yeah, I think he was like, I think it was Shem. Maybe it was Shem. I'd have to look. And he finds him. Well, instead of doing like the respectful thing and like covering his dad, he goes and tells his two brothers, like, Dad's so wrecked right now. He's naked and he passed out. And so they do the respectful thing. They walk backwards so they don't see their father naked. And they put a
Yeah.
like sheet over him. Well, he wakes up and he goes, "You and your children are cursed, Shem." Or I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was. Like, "You're cursed, you and your children."
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he was so riled up. Like, he goes, "I wasn't drunk. I was taking a nap." Like, he didn't say that. It doesn't say that in the Bible, but I'm just saying, like, he was riled up. But yeah, dude, giants. And then a lot of people say, like, the sons of God are referring to, like, the tribe of Nathan. I don't know. Not, God, who was it? It's not Nathan. It's, um, a certain group of people. But if you go into, like, the King James version and the New King James version, in Job and other places in the Bible, like in Job, it talks about the sons of God as well. And in Job, what it talks about in the beginning of Job, where it was like, Job was the most righteous man, da da da. And then it says the sons of God were going up to meet God. Like, they were going up, and the devil, Satan, was with them. And I always picture an elevator, and like there's a bunch of angels in an elevator, and Satan's just chilling in there with them, like
Just hanging
listening to
out.
like music. Yeah, just listen to music. And God talks to Satan. He goes, "So where have you been? What have you been doing?"
What you been up
And
to?
Satan's like, "I've been going to and fro on the earth, walking back and forth on it." Just which a can creepy, but
Yeah.
in the book of Revelation, it basically said there was nowhere for Satan and his minions, these other angels, to go. So they fell from heaven like lightning to earth. He didn't go to hell.
Yeah.
Satan and his demons, or these angels, aren't in hell. They're on earth. They fell to earth. He's the prince of the air. Like,
Hmm.
that's what it is. And so, and you can look also and you can go into like the international version, the New Living or the New Age version or whatever of translation of Bible, and it'll say, like, in Job, the heavenly court. But it's the sons of God, and there were these Elohim on the earth, and they were basically over certain regions, and it gets real. If you want to get in depth about it, you can. But I mean, I really think that they messed with human genetics, that people weren't fully people anymore, and even animals. Like, it was in everything.
Yeah.
It fucked with all of creation, to the point where God's like, "I can't get no more. I've got to
Yeah.
like
You guys
I've
been
got to
fucking
wipe it
around. Now you're
clean."
about to find out.
Yeah. You know what's really funny, and everybody's gonna think I'm stupid for saying this. When we were talking about like those assassinations attempts, when we're talking about the Bible, you always go super blurry. Always. And then we start talking about dumb stuff again, and you're perfectly fine.
And it's back to
And
normal every
it's
time.
back to
Yeah,
normal
it's
every
yeah.
time.
That's why, like, whenever you go off on like a religious tangent or something, and I start looking around doing that, it's because you're just blurry and stupid looking, and it don't do me any
Yeah,
good to look at you every time.
same. And so here's the thing, dude. I think that there were giants on this earth. I think that angels did. I think that these angels, or these Elohim, or these spiritual beings, did come to earth, and I think that they definitely mated with humans and fucked with genetics so hard.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Well,
I had a conversation with a pastor, and
history always repeats itself. We're doing it now. Somebody, people didn't just have that idea.
I changed my tune on that too, and I'm not trying to be like, "Gotcha." But I don't think history repeats itself. I think history rhymes. I think it's not always repeating. I think it just rhymes. I think that,
Like it's parallel. It's not the
yeah,
same, but it's
it's not the same, but it's
yeah.
almost there. And
Yeah.
I mean, I love history. I've always loved history. If we just did a history episode, I want to deep dive into some of like these. There's a lot of weird connection with these people that have assassinated presidents, and not like they're connected to each other, but just some odd things that go about. So I
Hmm.
mean, not even JFK, but John Hinckley Jr., I think his name was, the guy who shot Reagan. There's some weird, like, his brother was gonna go have dinner with one of the Bushes, like George Bush's son, the night after it happened, and they had to cancel it because there's weird correlations with stuff. And so, all of it, when you get into religion, these theories, this, that, and the third, them releasing these UFO files, that we want the Epstein files.
Yeah. I don't give a
We don't
shit. It's
want,
not like
yeah,
we're not going anywhere.
no,
We're on Earth forever. These interstellar missions that they're talking about, like if you want to go anywhere, it's like millions of years because
Yeah.
the fastest we've ever been able to go is like 440 miles an hour, 440,000 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
And for us to go to the next solar system is like 180 million years at that
Yeah. You
speed.
can't.
Like
You can't.
you can't, there's nothing that we will ever do that will get us unless we get into some dark matter stuff, you
Which
know.
I think is definitely happening. I think that we are trying. I think that this is not okay. Here's another one. So people go on these DMT trips, right? And they'll see these beings,
DMT or ayahuasca.
DMT, and they'll go in and they'll see these
DMT.
beings and they'll go, and what they'll do is they've spent so much time in these realms that eventually these beings will be like, no, you can't come in here anymore. You're done. And then like they'll hit it and they just can't anymore. Like it just,
Wow.
yeah, because these beings will just be like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, you're not
We
allowed
don't,
here anymore.
you're not cool. You're gay.
Yeah,
We don't want you here.
yeah.
You suck.
Well, and dude, I think if you're doing that, like I used to say, I always wanted to do DMT, like, but now, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to do DMT because it's just like, dude, you can call me a puss, but it's just
You're a
like
puss.
I don't want to venture off into different realms anymore. I used to, like when I was really hitting shrooms hard,
Yeah.
dude. I wanted to like blast off, and I did a couple times, and then one time it turned. On the next episode, I might talk about it, but dude, that's honestly, if you want me to be completely honest, that's what kind of pushed me. Like I've always known Christ and religion, but that's what really got me into it because, dude, I'm telling you something, dude. I took a heroic dose. They call them hero doses or whatever heroic
Yeah.
doses.
A hero
Just too
dose. Yeah.
much, too much. And like,
Did you
I
taste their
remember
pillars and shit?
I texted my brother and I was like, I made it real dramatic. And I'm sure I still have the text, but it was like, this was years ago. And I was like, basically to do something about doing something in secret. But either way, I'm not going to get it because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But like, dude, I knew and I made it a game because I worked myself up and was working myself up and working myself up. And eventually I just took this hero dose and I made it this game. And I like, it was like a gotcha moment. And like, I gotcha. I'm tripping, but I'm still mentally like I'm here. And then, dude, I took a video. I still have the video of myself. I took a video, and right after this video is when everything hit the fan. And I heard a train. I hear trains all the time. I heard trains all the time where we live, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the horn didn't stop. And I thought Christ is coming back. And I'm tripping balls.
Yeah.
And dude, the horn just didn't. My wife was sleeping on the couch because I was in the bedroom just fucking around playing video games, just having a good time. And I woke her up and I was like, "Do you hear that?" And I flung the window open and I was like, "Do you hear that?" And I was like, I can't stop. And dude, so we were in these apartments when we first met, and the floor was cracked and it was
Mm-hmm.
checkered floors. And dude, I sat on the floor and I felt like I was falling through the floor. I had to have her hold my hand because I was like, I have to touch something real. I've
Yeah.
touched something that's here. And dude, I was in our bedroom. I was on my knees and I could hear screaming. And what it says biblically, weeping and gnashing of teeth. I could hear hell, dude. And the first time I felt doom in my life, in my heart, I
Yeah.
felt doom. And I realized that time is linear. There's no such thing as it's all happening at once. There's no past, present, or future. It's all at once. And I said, I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I can't I can't be forgiven for what I did to do that. I dropped on my knees and I prayed to Christ and I was like, please take this away from me. I can't deal with this anymore. Like, please take this away from me. And I was crying, dude, because all I could hear was screaming
Yeah.
and cry. And I mean, I can't tell you how real it was, bro. I can't tell you. It was so real.
Yeah.
And
I believe
it
it.
stopped. It stopped. Like I
Yeah.
started praying, dude, and it just stopped. I remember sitting on the couch and she's reading the back of this thing. Like she's looking up online too, and she goes, "So if you overdose on this, you take too much." She goes, "Religious experiences happen. These things happen to you." She goes, "Everything that you just said happened." I was like, "No, I don't care what you say." I was like, I made it a game. This is the truth. Our house was dark right before all this happened. Before I made the video, I turned off the light, turned off all the lights, and I went and got something to drink. And for some reason, I turned off the lights everywhere. And I went back to the bedroom I was in. I turned around before I got a drink and I bowed. And I was like, I win. and like just did that. And I went, I win. And
Mm-hmm.
then got my drink, came back, started whatever, and it was just, dude, you could feel. And she goes, I don't know. And there's another weird thing that happened too, because I don't believe in ghosts or anything like that. But like our doors never opened randomly. This is in
Mm-hmm.
the video. I'll send you the because I'm wearing a hard hat. I have a baseball bat, and I'm like, I'm high. And like I was doing this whole thing. And I'm sitting there talking, and our closet door just opens, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I'll fucking murder you! I'll murder you!" Like dude, I'm tripping, and but I know this door opens, and then after that, dude, she goes, "I'll tell you what, Devin." She goes, "All that stuff happened." She goes, "It did feel very different in our bedroom."
Yeah.
After that, like it was weird, and I just remember, I don't know why I turned off all the lights, and I don't know remember like I bowed and said, "I win," because I thought I'm mentally cool, bro. Like I know what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just everything was like super just fucking trippy and weird. But in that moment, dude, I remember just crying out to Christ because I knew I didn't know what else to do. I just asked for forgiveness because dude, it was like hell. Like I could hear hell. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt doom. It's the first time in my life I'd ever felt doom. I felt like I'd messed up before, like, oh, you fucked up. But like
Yeah.
legitimate doom and the whole
Just
linear time, I was like,
existential, full weight doom.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, times I was stuck in time. It's the only way I can describe it. I was stuck in
Yeah.
time, and then I did a mirror thing. So you're not supposed to fuck with mirrors. And we had a mirror that was here, and then a mirror on the other wall. They were parallel to each other. And I was like, and then we had this. I don't know. She threw it away. This heavy fucking mirror, but it was a star and it was all mirrored. And I was like, if you stuck this mirror in between these other mirrors, couldn't you? And I like in my head, it was like starting to make sense, and I lost it. And then I just kept looking into these mirrors, and I was like, what if something's there?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like, what am I seeing? And I obviously this is a guy that's just stupid high, and there's no like real science behind it. But I was like, there's got to be something else here, right? Like, your mind just starts to wander in these
Yeah.
dark, weird crevices of your conscience, and you're like, you just start tripping out. Music was sounding cool. Like I was like experimenting with it. And then I was just like, you know what? There's no kids, all alone. I'm just gonna take like 13 of these bitches and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And at first hour and a half, everything was cool.
Yeah.
After
Vibes.
that, vibes went like straight to hell, literally. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And here's the thing, I even did it after that. And after that, I could never enjoy it because in the back of my mind, I was like, you're just gonna start,
This could happen again.
yeah, and
Ruin the
it
whole
ruined the
vibe.
whole
I bet.
thing.
I
And
believe it, man.
so I know that was a wild thing that I just really went on a long spiel there. But dude, it was intense. And you know what? I waited to do shrooms until I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Like I
That's
would just
that's I've it's one of the things I've always wanted to do
it's
is
look, dude, I'll say this. It's a cool
at the
vibe.
very least just like just like maybe if not full ass mushrooms, I'd at least like to do a psilocybin,
Dude, I'll tell you this. If
experience.
when I did microdosing or like there were the gummies and I took 3 of them
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this is great. I
Yeah.
feel great. I was like, dude, I was doing like push-ups and like walking
Yeah.
myself off the ground. I was so like flowy and I was in
Yeah.
such a good
The
mood, dude. I like
microdosing is the shit, man.
it felt like there was something gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Like it
You
was right
just
here. It's
feel
like, this
so
is
happy and
great.
good and
Yeah.
light on your feet and
I should take 8 more of these. And and then you're like, and you're just completely, and then if you take a shower, and I've had 3 other people agree with me on this. If you're really tripping out and you take a shower, the steam is purple. I said that, and
mm,
like 2 of my friends were with me, and like, yeah, bro, what the fuck is that about?
what's
And I
that
was
all
like,
about?
I don't know. And dude, one time I just sat in the shower. This was so funny. I sat in the shower for like 45 minutes, dude. I literally was like, I poked my head out of the like, because we have sliding glass thing, like door, and I just poked my head out there, and I was just watching the steam, and it would like move weird, and then I'd go like this with my hand and it'd create
And it
the
would
little like,
swirl.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm, oh, whoa, like, and the walls. And then one time I was laying on my couch and I was just chilling, and like everything just started to get real like wavy and then like drippy, like things started to
Yeah.
like drip, and then like I'm not lying. This is the funniest fucking thing. I thought I was psychic as fuck. I was singing the song in my head, and I just had background stuff going on, like TV on the YouTube or whatever. On the YouTube, I'm 80.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube, and the song I was singing in my head, I just started singing it, and it came on, and I was like, "Oh, this is a sign," and I just started like getting
He
down,
started vibing.
yeah. And video games are cool. Like you really
Baby,
start
don't
getting,
hurt me.
yeah. I was like,
Don't
no
hurt
more.
me no
Yeah,
more.
I was just getting into it. Like I'm making it sound like it is a fun time, and I will say it is a good time if you do it. If you do it the right ways. But if you there's always a good side and a bad side. You'll meet people that have. That's why I will never touch acid. I'll
Oh
never
yeah.
do LSD
Yep.
because it's hours,
Yeah.
8 hours or whatever. Like I'm very very ill informed about that. But to the point where no, dude, because when it comes to acid, and if I'm wrong, I hope someone tells me in the comments. But basically, it like drips on your spinal cord, and that's what gets you. So there's this thing called that'll crystallize on your spine, and you'll hear people say like they haven't done acid in 10 years, and they'll crack their back, and for like 5 seconds they'll trip balls because one of those crick. So I had a dude, his name was Johnny. He was in a band. He was like 45, and he
Hell
was a
yeah.
landscaper. So he had been through some shit.
He's been through some
One
shit. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
one day he's like, "Bro, I hadn't done acid in like 8 years." And he's like, "I was on this lawnmower doing this, mowing this golf course." And he goes, "I cracked my back." And he goes, "Dude, the the green turned into an ocean for 4 seconds." And he goes, "I freaked the fuck out." And he goes, and then it also went back to normal. He goes, it was wild." That's what he
Yeah,
said.
I
It
bet.
was wild.
Well,
And
I
so
bet it
like
was wild.
well, there was this girl I was dating for a long time. Her mom was the sweetest, coolest Christian woman. And one day we were talking. She goes, "I used to do so much acid." And I was like, "What? You, Tanya?" And she goes, "Yeah, bro. I was so much acid." I was like, "That's
That's what
crazy."
led her to the Lord.
Yeah, dude. But EMT, DMT, there's this
Yeah.
guy. EMT. There's this guy in Fort Wayne. I heard it from three separate people. I never got his name and I never got where he lived. But three separate people that I don't think know each other because they never. I asked two of them if they knew this other person. But first time I was at the gym and some guy's like, "You can do DMT at some guy's house here in Fort Wayne for free. He just has to walk you through it. It's the only thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And he didn't. The conversation wandered and nothing happened. Like 6 months later, I was working with some dude and we were talking about DMT. And he goes, "There's this guy here in Fort Wayne that'll let you do it at his house for free. He's just got to walk you through it and like guide you." And I was like, "That's really strange. Have you ever met, Tony from
Yeah.
such?" And he goes, "No." And then fast forward like a year, and I'm at a bar and we're talking about DMT, and this guy's like, "Bro, same spiel." And I was like, "Who is this mystical man?"
Yeah.
And like, I just want to know more about him. I'm not going to let him guide me and fuck with my head.
Right.
But who is this mystical being? And, the conversation veered off again. I've always wanted to do it, but I'm so now after doing shrooms and experience that, I'm so fucking freaked out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Track that boy down. I'll hold your hand. We'll
Yeah.
do it together.
Yeah. You know what? I'll be there and I'll be like, "Where's Colton?" And I'll get a call from you. "Hey, buddy, I can't do it." It's like, "Oh, cool. I'm going to die
Oh,
here.
cool.
Thanks, man."
This
Yeah.
is how I die. I'm gonna get
I'm
murdered here.
alone. Yeah. There's this
Yeah.
old creepy guy just like, "I'm going to walk you through this. It'll be
Digging
okay."
digging in his belly button
Yeah.
as he's walking you down the stairs to his basement.
Yeah. "I made this for you." It's like, "Oh, God." Jeez.
God,
Yeah. We hear the door lock behind you. "Oh, all right. Yeah, but this is cool."
this is for
I'm
your
going to die.
safety.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
for
going to
your
die in this
safety so
pit.
you don't wander off.
Yeah. It's just a hole dug in a dirt floor. You're like, "All
Yeah.
right. Yeah."
Cool, yeah. There's just a bloodstained mattress and some handcuffs. It's like, no, I this is there. Yeah, I have to handcuff you so that you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. Super deep.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca, I don't know. I've met some people I met a guy that went down to South America and did it. And I just don't want the throwing up and stuff and like the 12
Yeah,
hours of just losing your
that
mind.
last bit of just losing your entire butt.
I'm good, bro. Like I don't need to see Mother Nature.
Yep.
I'm good, bro, or whatever this is. I don't We listen to some people's stories, dude, and or you'll listen to dudes that have done salvia. Have you ever heard about salvia before?
I've heard.
Okay, so there's this comedian. His name's Ari Shafir. And I
Yep,
believe this.
I know him.
He
Or I don't
he
know him. I know of him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he hangs down at
Yeah,
the
I've
Flying
got his
J.
phone number here. Yeah,
Yeah, he did
I'll send him a
salvia
text. I'll tell him that you said something about him.
on a podcast, and he tripped out for like I don't know how many minutes, say 20. But in this trip, he had a whole different life. He had a wife, a kids, friends.
Kids.
Like was
That's how
married.
bad he tripped out. He couldn't tell
Yeah,
if it was one or
kids.
more
Yeah, he
kids.
had kids and all that stuff. And then he came back to reality. He was like sad for a second. Like, and he did it on
Mm,
a podcast. You can watch it.
yeah,
Like, and he talks about it and
wild.
stuff. Yeah, we're just super. Or you'll see dudes. This is funny. This guy used to be called. He's on YouTube, and he would like, I'm gonna try gardening while high on salvia, and he'd
Oh, I've
smoke, and
seen
he'd
that
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
just can't do
sit
it.
there. He can't do
Yeah,
nothing. He'll just sit there. Yeah.
yeah, and so it just like, dude, drugs. Like my opinions on weed have changed. I don't. I definitely think that it is addictive,
Oh, for
especially the weed
sure.
these
I
days,
don't
dude.
care.
Weed these days.
I don't care what anybody says. If you need it like an antidepressant, you're addicted to it. I don't care what anybody says.
And now, here's the thing. I will say this: for many years, for many a moons, I was reamed all the time.
I bet you were, gay boy.
And thank you. I was
Just getting reamed.
but I was just yeah, reamed. But I was blitzed a lot. I mean, I a lot. And it affected my sleep. I'll never be able to sleep the same. I don't think. Like I really believe that because ever since I've stopped, I can't sleep the same. Well, I used to
Mm,
take breaks. Like I would take like I'm serious, dude. Like I don't want to say it too much, but like, dude, I mean, it was a lot. I was really getting after it for a long time, and I would take periodic breaks for like a month, maybe, 2 months. And the first week was hard to sleep, but after that, okay.
yeah.
Dude, not now. Ever since I've stopped, sleep has never been the same for me. And here's my opinion on it. If you can hold down your job, pay all your bills, take care of family, not put somebody's like your children's life at risk or get them fucked up, do your thing, bro. If that's what you do, if you go smoke a joint at night before you go to bed or you
Yeah,
just
for sure.
chill,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, but if you can't get a real job because you're just fucking fried all the time, if you can't pay your car note because you went and bought like 150, $150 worth of carts, and you went up to a dispensary or whatever, and those things are dangerous too, bro. Like dispensaries are fucking. It's so wild walking into one. It's like
Yeah.
when you're like, whoa, there's all this fun stuff, and you can have conversations about it. You can talk to and they're real, a lot of them are real helpful and cool.
Mm-hmm.
um but I mean, I can go buy a jar like 15 grams of dabs for 150 bucks, and a jar of it. Like when I first started smoking, like when I was in my early 20s, you'd have to like some dude, I'm not gonna say his name, but we went to his house and he pulled out this like those vanilla envelope, the big ones like with a metal piece you have to pull out, and
The Manila
manila,
envelope.
and you get it, and then there was like little ones on there with like a logo, and in that were like dabs, and we ripped a bunch, and that was the most I'd ever seen. Now it's like I mean, dude, okay, I'll tell you this one real quick. I know I've talked a lot about weed, but my buddy, my roommate, we were in the party house. He made a waterfall, and out of a wine bottle. So he drilled a hole in the bottom of a wine bottle,
Mm-hmm.
drilled a hole through a cork, put a 1 gram bowl in the cork. And what you do is you'd fill it up with water, cover the bottom hole with your finger, light the bowl up top, let the water go, and it would suck in
Mm-hmm.
the smoke. Okay.
Right.
This thing would get like orange. Like the smoke would get so thick, and it was so good. Dude, he goes, be careful. Most people can't. And I'm not trying to sound cool at all. He goes, most people can't get it their first time. And I was like, even now, I have really good lungs. And I was like, no, I've ripped like 1 gram bongs, like bowls before, and like cleaned it out, cleared it. And dude, and got all that in me, dude. I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like, dude, and I held it in for so long that like when I went to exhale, like a little puff of smoke came out. And I was like, all that smoke is, and dude, I was so fried. And it's just weird. Like the way that like people just come up with ways to like get stoned.
Yeah.
Like all the contraptions, like smoking out
Mm,
of a legitimate, not a vape pen, but a vaporizer. It was a box, an electric box, and you put weed inside this thing, this glass bowl that was attached to this long tube, like a long tube, and you put it in the vaporizer, this box. You'd set the temperature, and you'd sit there, and you just and you'd hit it, and it was the cleanest because you're not breathing in all the stuff. It's just getting
Yeah.
like, and it's just weird. There's so many are like one hitters.
Hmm.
You'd have the little wooden box,
Dude, I used
and
to
he'd
know a guy that
mhm,
his name was Keith. He didn't have any teeth in his head. We called him Keith Man. Me and
mhm.
a couple of buddies would go over to his house sometimes and like help him around the property, whatever. He paid me with a fucking flat screen TV one time because he didn't have any money to pay me for my work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, like that kind of a guy. And he smoked weed out of a 10 millimeter socket, chrome
Yeah.
socket.
Yeah.
Like just as a little one hitter. He'd be set for like the next 45 minutes or an hour or something like that, and then you'd see him pack another one, and then he'd just keep that 10 millimeter socket in his pocket, and like no screen in the bit hole or nothing. He was just raw dogging right out of oh my god, I haven't thought about that guy in a long. He's probably dead. That guy, I was over at his house one time playing video games with another one of my buddies, and these two guys rolled up like hot and heavy in a pickup truck. One got out with a baseball bat, and another guy got out and was like, "Keith, we know you're in there." And he told his girlfriend or whoever she was, girlfriend, wife, whatever. He was like, "I'm not here. Tell them I'm not here." And me and my buddies were like, "What is going on? Like, are we about to? Is this? What are we doing here?" And he was like, "I owe them a bunch of money. I owe them a bunch of money, and they're here to collect." And so she had to go out and do the diplomacy stuff, like, "Oh, he's not here. He's somewhere else, and he'll be back in a couple of days, blah blah blah." Meanwhile, he's pissing his pants in a closet, just hiding from these guys. And I don't know what all that was about, but that was about the time I quit smoking weed, because I was like, he's definitely into some shady shit. And
Mm,
obviously it probably wasn't because of the weed, unless it was. Maybe those were his drug dealers and he owed him some money. I don't know, but
maybe. So there's a guy named Keith as well.
it's
He's
always
from a
Keith.
certain town. It's always Keith. And he was an older fellow too. He was like in his late, he would say in his early 50s. He lived in apartments in some town, whatever. Well, and he was like my guy sometimes. I had a couple guys. He was like sometimes like the plug, like he had some. One day my friend and I went and bought like a lot.
Yeah.
And we left, dude, and he calls me like an hour later and he goes, "Dude, 2 minutes after you left," he goes, "I got a knock on the door and there were 5 police officers at my door." And he goes, "They said that they got reports of weed smoke, like it's reeked of weed." And he goes, "I'm lucky and you're lucky." He goes, "Because you bought my last little bit." And
Yeah.
he goes, "Everything I had, you bought." And he goes, "So there was nothing here. It just reeked of weed." And he goes, "They made me break my bong." He goes, "That was it." And
Dang.
I was like, "Dude, that's wild." Cause we smoked this fat joint, bro, like this fat fucking joint. And he was like, "Thank you." And also, wow. I was like, "Yeah, dude."
That's
But
wild.
he was a cool dude. He worked as like he was an IT guy. And so
Hmm.
he worked at home for like businesses and stuff. And he was a cool dude, lived in a really nice apartment, like really
Hell
nice
yeah.
apartment. What was I gonna say? You brought up the
The one hitter.
damn it. The one hitter. Damn, I lost my thought. Oh, what I would do is this cool. We used to like I for real, and a lot of people can say this. I've hotboxed. Like literally, you can't see
Oh
the
yeah.
inside of the fucking
Yeah.
car.
But
It's
I've done that once or twice.
so what I did was I found this out, and I can't remember how I found this out, but I had a certain sheet that if you sat on the corners of it, you could hotbox in the sheet. It would contain all the smoke. So me and one other, but it would get extremely hot.
I bet.
It would get very hot. So me and one other friend, and eventually we did 3 people, and we had bongs, and we would just there. And I mean, dude, it would get so intense, and then it would get so hot. We'd all be like sweating. I mean, like just sweat, and eventually get out, and it was the coolest thing. Open the sheet, all the smoke would just it would
Yeah.
just come out of the sheet. So one time we did that. Okay. This is not a lie. It was me and my other friend. We did that. And then we got out after that and smoked some joints. And we're in my apartment. Okay. I get a knock on the door and I put my bong like right underneath the coffee table, right on the end where the leg is, right? And really nice bong, really cool. I open the door and it's my grandmother and my sister.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, "Oh, hi. Hi." And I look at my friend and I was like, and I'm in my early 20s, so like
So
and
you're
my
an
grand
adult at this point.
yeah, but it's my grandmother.
It's your grandma,
And
yeah.
dude, and she walks in and she goes, "Oh, what are you guys up to?" And I was like, hanging out, watching some TV. And my sister's eyes are huge. And dude, I step back and I knock over my bong. And all you can hear is go, 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 go. And the water just, and it
There
reeks,
is
dude.
not a whole lot that smells worse than bong water.
No, dude. And let me tell you something, dude. It reeks so bad, worse now in my apartment than it ever did before. I mean,
Yeah.
it smelled like weed on top of weed on top of
Yeah,
weed.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and dude, and all you can hear is silence. I'm not lying. All you can hear is silence and glug, 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 glug. Just hear everybody can hear this thing dumping
God.
out. And I'm like, this dude and I 20 minutes later, they leave, and I'm like, I call my cousin, and I was like, "Dude," and he goes, "You're a fucking idiot." And I was like, "I didn't know they were coming over to my apartment."
Yeah.
And I was like,
They
I
just
looked out the
show up
window,
unannounced and expect me not to be smoking weed.
yeah,
What the hell?
and I was like, even if I looked out my window to see who it was, I couldn't. They would see me looking out the window because the window was
Yeah.
right next to the door, so I can't like escape it. And they can clearly hear the loud rap music coming from my stereo system. I'm like, you can't avoid it. And I was like, dude, this is not cool. Like that was probably the one time that like I was like, dude, I really fucked up. And you know what?
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, she didn't tell my mom or anything like that. I was really shocked by the whole ordeal. Like, but I'll never forget just hearing, like, feeling me kick that bong over, and then it just being like glug 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 glug, glug, and just hearing it and smelling it, be like, oh my fucking
Man,
god,
I
dude.
can't imagine.
Oh, it was so. I don't want to say embarrassing. It was just like I was so high too. Like I was like, "Hey, grandmother," like
Yeah.
no eye drops,
Hey,
no
grandma, how are
anything.
you?
Yeah, what are you up to? And just like see
Oh,
her grandkid who
just
she
hanging
loves. Just
out, man. We're
yeah,
just and you probably sounded just like that too. Oh,
yeah.
hey, grandma, we're just hanging out, man.
Meanwhile, extremely Christian woman, Wiz Khalifa or some rapper playing in the background, just like
Baby, won't
showing
you
guns
come
and
my way?
ass shaking in the TV, and you're like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just taking it out, it's cool. Like,
We're just hanging out, grandma.
oh, dude, so many like funny. There's so many funny memories, but at the end of the day, the amount of money that I could have saved, the amount of like effort and time I could have put into something else was such a waste
Yeah.
at the end of it all.
Yep.
And the amount of money, the amount of brain cells, and
Yeah.
like just and do I think I'm stupid now? Do I think that you can smoke yourself silly? Yeah, if you've been
Oh, for
smoking from
sure.
like
Yeah,
17 to like 50 or 48, yeah,
you are
you're probably
burnout,
gonna
big as shit.
right.
Yep.
But I think if you do it for 10 years
I
or
mean, listen to how shit.
Cheech and
Tommy,
Chong,
I was just gonna say Tommy Chong. Listen to how he fucking talks.
yeah, man, it's fucking
Yeah,
great. You're
yeah,
like, cool. You made millions off of just being fucking wrecked.
yeah.
Like
Just wrecked your entire life.
yeah. And okay, dude, like I get it now, but now
But
especially,
then you look at like Willie Nelson. That dude is still just sharp as a tack. You know,
I think it just depends on you as a person and
could
like
be.
your body makeup. Like I said, because dude, I smoke cigarettes, I've smoked pipes, I've smoked cigars, I smoked weed, I vaped weed. And after I quit, I went to the doctor and my lung capacity was like at 98%.
Yeah,
Like no real damage to my lungs, no real anything. So I think it just depends on like the person and like their physical makeup. But to me, really, it's about the money that I wasted and the time that I could have put into like so many other things in my life. And
yeah,
it, my kids never, I was never around my children. I never lost a job because of it or wasn't able to get up and go to work or anything like that at all. It never like impacted my life in that way. But it surely impacted my life in other ways
yeah.
and decisions I made.
I did all
You
my
know,
pot smoking in middle school and high school, and did all my drinking and partying before I was legal to drink. I didn't really. I mean, I turned it on a couple of times shortly after I turned 21, but especially after after having kids. I think I was 24 when my oldest daughter was born, and then like after that, I might get drunk like once a year. If I go somewhere and hang out and have and go somewhere, hang out for a few hours, I might have a beer or maybe two beers or something. They always make fun of me because I'm always real quick to catch a buzz.
Yeah,
It's like I don't fucking drink. I don't need to drink. The thought like you get off of work, you want to go home, and some people, the first thing they do is open the fridge and crack a cold beer
yeah,
to let their hair down or whatever. That thought never crosses my mind. Sometimes it does, and like I'll be on my way home like, you know what? An ice cold beer would be perfect. After today, it was hot. I had to tarp two freaking loads, in one day, and I sweat my ass off, and this is pissing me off, and blah blah blah. And then I get home and see my kids playing in the house or whatever, they're playing outside and they're excited to see me. That completely replaces the feeling that I had of wanting that cold beer.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I would agree. I did my partying in my late in my 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But like as far as
It's funny. I'm
drinking and
sorry, I don't
smoke,
mean to cut you off, but it's funny I
no,
say that while wearing a Coors shirt.
yeah. But like I partied and stuff like early in my like as far as like life, I guess, as far as like my teenage years, and that ruined like going to clubs and stuff for me.
Yeah, yep,
And then
same thing. Same.
we had a party house when we were, 21, 22, 23, and like we made money off of it and had a great time. But like I said, before I broke my sobriety this year, and it wasn't like I broke it and got, super fucking drunk or anything like that. I got buzzed. I ain't drinking like 4 or 5 years. Like I wasn't I just alcohol is the one of the easier things to give up. A,
Hmm.
because I don't like the taste, and I don't drink beer. I can't stand beer. I don't really like wine or champagne.
If I get into beers, I have a pretty strong taste for Coors Banquets.
Yeah.
That's usually what I go for. I mean, a Bush Light, obviously is
Yeah.
is the if there's Bush Light in the cooler at the party, obviously I'm drinking Bush Light. But like I've got a case of glass bottle Coors Banquets in my fridge out in the garage that are gonna be there for the next fucking year before I get through them all because I don't drink. But
I would say that like I had don't get me wrong, certain things are fun. Looking back on it, like, man, it was just all a waste. At the end of the day,
hmm
it was a real waste. But you know what? I'll say this: I did some of my best writing stoned. Some of the best things ever written. I was stoned. Some
oh,
of
I
the
bet.
best like thought music
Well,
experiences and
that's the
things
way it
like
is for a
that.
lot of like music, especially back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. A lot of the best songs ever written. The guy was high as hell.
It's the truth. But
Especially like Jimi Hendrix. Can you imagine if that guy was sober the whole time?
yeah,
His music, I mean, he'd be an orchestra.
yeah, yeah,
His
yeah,
music
for
would
sure.
suck.
First of all, those go hard when you're stoned. You listen to
Oh,
a
I
full
bet.
blown. I went to the Philharmonic Fried, and I
Yeah.
was like, "This is one of the greatest things I've ever done." Like
Yeah.
dude, it was so fun. It was so cool, and I've always loved classical music
I
and stuff.
mean,
So
I imagine something like that'd be cool to watch sober. I've never
it
been,
is, it
but
is.
like
But
if you're high, like what was that was it a Jon Stewart bit? Maybe somebody said, "Have you ever tried such and such on weed?"
yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. I wasn't like sit on the couch. I mean, I would sit on the couch and just chill, but dude, I would play football high. I played baseball high. I went fishing high. I mean, hikes. I did everything high.
Yeah.
I never was like, I just gotta chill. Now, if I was drunk and doing it, yeah, then it'd be like, I gotta chill, bro. But we're sitting at a campus of a college. My cousin just got done with a fight. Literally, he and I walked in the Philharmonic with these two chicks, and he's got a black eye. He's got a cut right here. He's wearing a suit. I'm wearing like a nice suit. These girls dressed up, and he and I are in the parking lot with this like bong, ripping this thing before this concert, before the Philharmonic. Just getting after like two or three bowls, and we walk in there, dude, and we've got like. First of all, what you do is you put a mint in, you put cologne on, which doesn't mess shit, and then you put hand
Yeah,
sanitizer on.
exactly. You just smell like weed and Axe body spray.
Well, first of all, don't ever say I wear Axe body spray. I wear Lacoste or
Bod.
something else. No, ugh, gross. Tag. Do you remember
Yeah,
Tag?
yeah.
Tag used to be the shit.
You come out of the car, you'd rip a double pist to chesty.
Yeah, dude. Like, so we would hand sanitizer, like some kind of lotion, eye drops, cologne, and then a mint. All right. And we walk in this thing, and it's funny because you see all these people looking at us because my cousin's all fucked up from his fight that he just had, and we're just like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm fucking
What?
fried.
I am a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, dude. And we're sitting there and like they're playing, and I was like, there was one part where they like get real like intense. I'm like, oh, like it shocked me. I was like, oh my god, it was so fun. I remember walking. I was like, that was life changing. That
Yeah.
was the funnest thing. And then
Who needs DMT?
yeah, and these girls get pissed at us for some reason. So we drop them off at their car, and then he and
Never
I
to be
go eat
seen
out,
again.
never to be seen again. And then well, they were our girlfriends at the time, so we just dropped them off and said "fuck you," and then we went ate at a nice Italian restaurant, just he and I. And
Nice.
it's just his tie is all undone, and like my thing's like halfway done, and we're sitting there eating like spaghetti and shit. It's like this is he goes, I'm in pain. And I was like, I bet you are. It
The
was a fun
adrenaline of the
day.
weed finally wore off, and he's just
Yeah.
lethargic,
Oh,
busted
dude.
to
Like,
fuck, eating spaghetti, eating fettuccine
well,
Alfredo at Olive Garden.
yeah. Well, he got like a bottle of wine, and I'm sitting there, and like, this was no lie. There was a bar in there, and so I was like, so can I order drinks like at the table? And the guy's like, yeah, you can. I was like, I want three doubles of vodka. I want a side of iced tea. And my cousin's like, I want a bottle of wine. And so we're sitting there alone, and it has to look so miserable, these people, because he looks fucked up. We're dressed up, and I'm over here just shooting doubles and like drinking tea, and he's like drinking a bottle of wine. It was a really good. He goes, so are you gonna drive home? And I was like, drive home. I was like, I thought we were gonna sleep in the car or some shit. I was like, I mean,
We're
yeah, I
sleeping
guess
in the
we'll drive
parking lot,
home.
boy.
Yeah, dude. But we did. I drove home, and he crashed in my house because he goes, dude, and I was like, yeah, I am too. I was like, that's fine, dude. And I slept, but I remember dreaming about the Philharmonic. Like, it was such a dude. I'll just never forget when it got real intense. I was like, it really threw me
Like
for a
you'd
whirl,
feel it in your
bro.
chest, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can feel the sound waves
yeah.
come at you and hit you.
I just felt bad for the person sitting next to me because I was like, the whole time I was like, whoa, oh, oh my god, like
This is
it
the
was
most
so
amazing
hard.
thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
dude. Well, I looked over at the guy at one point. I was like, "Can you believe this shit?" And then I just kept watching, like, and he's like 65, and just
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
What's
yes,
wrong?
yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
What's wrong
yeah.
with you?
A lot. There was a lot going
It
on.
takes a lot to keep this together.
Yeah, dude. It's a thread. There's a thread in there that if that thing snaps at any time, I'm gone. Like dude, it was cool. The Philharmonic was dope. Yeah, man. I could never that was such an experience. Man, I haven't thought about that in such a long time. I'm glad that I brought that up because that brought back so many. You know what? It was a Harry Potter. They were doing like music stuff to Harry Potter. And they
Hmm.
had candles all around, and it was just cool. And I just remember being like, fuck yeah. Like made a little money. I'm dressed real nice, got this bad bitch sitting next to me, and I'm fried. I've made it. And then like after it's all done, I was like, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm I'm in debt $20,000 because of this car, and like this chick hates me. Like we're about to break up. Like this is awful.
This
Like
sucks.
yeah, I'm not really that cool. I want to
Yeah.
go cry in my bathroom, but hang on, let me take this bowl with me real quick. I'll be all right. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Don't bother
yeah,
me while I'm
dude.
in my room.
Yeah, I'm in my room, mom. Don't bother me. It's okay. I'm just vacuuming my room a lot. It's okay. I'm in my room. Oh, they made another scary movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
That looks exciting. I hope it's good.
I hope so
I hope
too.
it's good.
Probably
But
won't ever see it, but I hope it's good.
I'm gonna try to watch. Well, they're coming out with an Odyssey, like Homer's Odyssey. They're coming out with a new one. It's with Matt Damon, and I will
Hmm.
watch that. It looks good, and I
Yeah.
will watch that. But it's been 2 hours. We're at the
I
two
was
hour
just gonna
mark.
say yeah. We
and
should have done like a part one,
2
part two tonight,
episodes.
but
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe I can just cut it or something and make it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this just
you
be
know
a
what we
long
should
run.
do? We need to like put together some sort of intro music or something, intro outro music
Yeah, we
that
do.
you could splice.
Don't come in my socks. Don't come in my socks. Come in your socks.
Come in your own
Um,
socks. Don't come in my
yeah,
socks. Fuck you. Those are my socks. Those are my socks. The only cum that's gonna be in my socks is mine.
yeah, yeah. Don't you dare come in my socks, Colin. Yeah. Well, that's Freg, and I'm Craig, and yeah. Well, this has been fun. I've had a good time. I hope you have as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus. All right. Well, he hasn't.
It's been real and it's been fun, but it ain't been real
It's
fun.
been real fun. Yeah. Super cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I told a lot of good stories and it means nothing. But
I was very nice and supportive to you this episode, so I had to get one jab in.
you were. I appreciate that. But no, everybody don't. I always do this at the end and I should do it at the beginning because I don't know how many people watch till the end. But
Probably not very many.
actually, real quick, I had a friend call me today and say thank you for our podcast because he likes listening to it.
Well, good.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome. Well, thanks to that one friend that enjoys listening to the podcast because we don't have very
yes,
many people that listen. So
they like the clips.
they
They like
like the
the clips,
clips.
but
Yeah.
they just don't like the fucking podcast.
Well, your friends should enjoy this one because this was a good one. So
This was a good one. Everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, comment. Don't be mean though. There's been a couple people that I've had to say take a shower to because
yeah,
they've just been really mean. But like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Everything else under the
tell your
sun,
friends,
and
tell your mom's friends.
yeah, yeah. Really tell your mom's friends for real
We
though.
need all the middle aged women.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They leave the best comments.
Yeah.
I'm super supportive. But
Maybe we'll get lucky in that we can like we can put together a PO box that can send us like sweet baked goods.
yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be
I'd
awesome. I'd
love a
love
good
that so
pound
much.
cake.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No reference to actual like an
No,
ass or anything like that. But just legitimate pound
please
cake.
please don't send us butt cheeks.
Yeah, yeah, don't do that. My wife will be upset. Don't do that. But we should definitely put music together and stuff like that. But listen, I hope everyone has a great day and a good week and we'll be back soon. Peace.
Ta ta.